Two. Okay.
Hi.
Hey. All right. This is comfortable. We're cool. Everything's good. Welcome to season 2.
Yeah.
Season 2 of Still Holding the Door. This new season is themed Women of Influence. And we will be having guests come on whom I respect and really enjoy their perspectives. And this is guest number 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Caroline,
Honors.
aka Lady C, who is a world-class singer, world-class dancer, and world-class human being.
Oh, cool.
So,
Thanks.
thank you for being a guest on our show. We ask poignant questions that just instigate conversation, and we're just going to flow with the conversation
Cool.
and let you share your wisdom.
Yeah, cool. Let's do it.
Question number 1.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about our week this time. We don't care about our week.
Nah, too much time has passed.
too much time has
and
passed.
life's good anyways,
Yeah.
so.
Let's start with this one. This is a really poignant one right off the bat. No small talk.
All right.
If you could give yourself advice on love and self-worth based on your experiences, what would it be?
Okay, no warm up. Straight into it. Okay.
That's you.
Do I hold the mic?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This feels very powerful. Can you repeat the question, please?
I sure can. If you could give your younger self advice on love and self-worth based on your experiences in life, what would it be?
I would probably tell myself that everybody is going through something at all times. Everybody is struggling with their best self and their worst self all the time, including me. And so everybody is no better than you and no worse than you. And so you're perfectly okay with where you're at in this moment, in this time. If it's ugly or pretty, whatever it is, it's all perfect and right in this moment. In terms of love, in terms of connecting with another human, I think I would say there's a lot of humility that I missed in the beginning of understanding how other people communicate love and things like that, that I probably have come to learn the hard way. And that's just part of life, so I don't regret that, but I think I would leave more space for someone to express love the way they need to express love, and understand that it might not connect with me, and then that's okay, and that can be left. But again, I don't regret any of the experiences that I had. I'm grateful for them all.
So no matter if it was a positive experience or traumatic, you see that all as a part of like the growth of...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That was a great answer.
Yeah, that was a great answer.
Like, woo!
I've had my coffee, so my
Yeah.
brain is on full
All right.
full fire.
Well,
right
lucky
now.
I got some deep questions then for you. What are some highs and lows in your life choices that you believe made you who you are today?
Me and my friend Tara were just talking about a few of them, actually. I've made a lot of really risky choices in my life with very little preparation. I kind of throw myself into the fire a lot, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. It's definitely taught me a lot of really quick, hard lessons. I probably could have learned those lessons in a much more delicate fashion, but I don't think that would be as interesting to tell on a podcast. So I think it made me who I am, and it made me, all kinds of the colors that I am in my personality and in my humanity. So I've made a lot of risky choices to not settle for where I'm at. I always put myself in situations where it's going to be really rough and really hard, but it will level me up, whether it's artistically, personally, emotionally. I try to put myself in situations where I'm surrounded by people that can teach me something or push me into a new realm or a new level of what I'm trying to achieve in my life. Sometimes I get that wrong. I've got it wrong a lot in my life, actually, where I thought this was the right circle to be in. I thought this was the right move. I put all my eggs in that basket, and then it burned me pretty hard. But even in that, I learned like really valuable lessons, and the universe has always put me exactly where I'm supposed to be with all of those choices involved. So again, I don't regret it, but I moved to, New York and tried to pursue music professionally, for example, and that went completely sideways. But I learned a lot of really cool things, and I, went on TV shows and tried to pursue that avenue of being a dancer. And not that went, none of these things went horribly, horribly wrong. They were sort of detours on a much longer journey that I didn't understand at the time, that I probably was on the right path and I just wasn't listening. And so, I think I try to force a lot of decision. I try to force a lot of the universe to I want to make this happen, so I'm going to make that risky choice to make it happen. And I really push. And now I'm at a place where I'm trying to learn how to listen better and pay attention to the path that I'm on.
If you don't mind me asking, what does it mean to go sideways? Let's say New York. What does it mean that it went sideways?
What I was walking into and what was promised to me, and well, not promised to me, but what was sort of presented to me that was going to come out of that situation was just completely not what happened. Yeah. So I think the expectation of what I thought I was walking into ended up being wildly different from the reality of what went down. And so, but again, that's just life. You can't predict everything. You have to make choices and hope for the best. I put my 100% into it. I, came my 50% of the way, and then it wasn't the right path. It just wasn't.
Was this music?
Yeah, this was music. Yeah, I left dance completely.
Was this, were you control of production, or was this you coming in as the artist and then trying to bring producers in to put?
It was sort of a collaborative thing. But anyways, not to get into the details of that, but it was a collaborative, creative process. And I think both parties, maybe we weren't in the right place to embark on that big of a taking on. Yeah. So. And
the TV show stuff, was that for dance shows?
Yeah, I did Révolution. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm working on my French right now. I did Revolution, which is a Quebec French TV show.
Okay.
It's like a competition style TV show,
Yep.
But again, this wasn't me trying to be I want to be a big famous TV star. This was me being this is a really interesting challenge for me because I don't present my artistry in these realms. And it was kind of a cool challenge to cater and curate what I do for a TV audience. And I think that was a really useful skill that I gained out of that. Because, I've been in film, I've been in commercials, things like that, where you're sort of hired to be a dancer, or I've been hired to just sort of be myself. But to really try to take what I do and curate it in a certain way for a large TV audience is a tricky line to toe.
Yeah. To
maintain authenticity and satisfy the world of television, which, they want a very quick dose of, Yeah.
And they don't necessarily even know what the vocabulary of the styles that are. That looks, do the weird wavy thing.
Exactly.
They don't know the techniques and how it's and taking time.
Right. And nor do they have to, that's
true.
not their job. You're watching TV. It's not your job to know everything about everything that you're watching. We watch a movie and we're watching actors that have spent time and hours and blood, sweat, and tears putting into their craft. or stunt people that you don't even notice are in the film, and all the work that goes into that. It's not our job to like be as invested in your craft as you are. If you're able to convey a performance that makes us wonder about that, like, wow, what a sensational actor, like, how did they get so good at that? What are their techniques? That's a crazy achievement, to be able to get an audience, a TV audience, to like think about that. Like your actual craft as an actor or a stunt person or a director or a cinematographer, you know, but it's not their job. So I don't think that's a bad thing. Like they're not, like, they don't understand the technique of what I'm doing. I'm like,
True.
either way, I got to make you feel something.
Fair.
You know, so how can I stay true to myself but also satisfy what I know you want? And do I want that? Do I want to do that? And that's a choice, you know.
Spoken like a true professional. That's, yeah, that is the truth of it.
Yeah.
So is there any, still on that question, is there any risks that you took that went right?
So many.
Where you're like, oh, I'm going to take this risk, and it just went and
So
flourished?
many, yeah. So many. Every time I enter a battle, every time I step on stage, every time I, you know, say yes to flying to another country with no idea of what I'm walking into is a risk. And so many of those have turned into these like beautiful life experiences that are like not worth any dollar amount. Like they're just completely priceless. And they have just, in my, you know, short life so far, if I died tomorrow, I would say I had a really exciting, incredible, interesting life full of interesting people and interesting experiences. So a lot of them have gone so right. I wouldn't be sitting here still doing what I'm doing if they were all risks. It's a risk just to be an artist. It's a heavy risk just to choose to be a professional dancer of all things. Like there's the arts, and then dance is like almost, I would say, the lowest on the totem pole there, in terms of your respect, in terms of pay, in terms of your, you know, autonomy in certain situations. It's an incredibly crazy choice in life to be like, I'm gonna be a professional dancer, street dancer no less, you know.
True.
So yeah, I think that's a risk, but it's just given me the most fruitful, beautiful life full of beautiful people, I would say, more than anything. But yeah, so yeah.
Do you remember, was that a singular choice you made in your life to be like, I'm going to be an artist or I'm going to be a dancer? Or was it kind of just how life was unfolding? You're like, I'm going to try this path and see where it leads. Or was there like, I want to represent and live a life of an artist?
No, I never made like a conscious choice. I don't think I had that option really, like, especially at the time, because I grew up dancing. I knew I had something, but it wasn't reflected back to me in terms of how people received, you know, the things that I was good at were not valued in this atmosphere. And I didn't know they were valued elsewhere because I just hadn't been exposed to that yet. So performance, dancing from the heart and soul, style, individuality, things like that were just not valued where I was at. So it took me getting into street dance through Tara, actually, who was bringing a lot of the originators of street dance to Calgary at the time. I fell into it. I didn't know Tara. I didn't know any of these people. There was no internet really in a big way. There was no YouTube. I didn't know what I was walking into. I just fell into that, and then I fell so deeply in love with it that I wasn't at all thinking about how to do this professionally or how to make money off this. I really, truly, to this day, only care about the dance. I care about being good at the dance, and I care about understanding it very deeply. And that's all I really was thinking. Like, I just want to be good. I just want to get better. I just want to understand, like, what is this thing and how do they get that level? Like when I'd watch Pete dance or Sugar Pop or Khalif or Link, I was like, how are they so they're on another planet right now. I can see it. They're not here. It's spiritual. They're somewhere else. And that like transcendence was so just appealing to me and enticing to me, and I just wanted to know that feeling. And I knew I have to gain a certain level of skill, and I have to be able to speak the language fluently to be able to express like that. And so that was my main motivation. Now, the professional part happened very organically because I just started getting asked to do stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of it was really random stuff in the beginning. Like, there was not really a huge like street dance scene in terms of like professional theater or anything like that, especially in Calgary at the time. So I was doing little projects. Tara would ask me to be in a piece. I would do that. I was in a bunch of contemporary stuff. My sister would ask me to do something. She was a contemporary dancer. So I would just say yes to everything. I was just in like a lot of random things, really random things, like that were completely unrelated, but I just wanted to be in this world. And then through that, I started to understand there was this whole other side of dance professionally that existed in the world that I just didn't know about. And so, yeah, it just started happening organically. People started asking me to come battle. Then people were like, who is this girl that can like pop and lock? They'd ask me to come teach a class. Okay. Then I started getting asked to do some theater work. I danced in Spicy's company. You know, it just sort of rolled, but it was a very long process. This wasn't like me being like, I'm going to be a professional dancer. A lot of people did that, move down to LA, go,
Of course.
you know, give it 1,000%. And something about that just wasn't speaking to me because I just really wanted to be just good at the dance. And so I was like, I'm just going to keep kind of trying to get good at this thing and work at Starbucks. And then just people started asking me to do more and more stuff. So it just sort of, yeah. I don't think I was a full-fledged professional dancer until I moved to Toronto, until I was living in Toronto, like 10 years ago. Not even.
And you think it's being in the city itself, just the opportunities?
No, I think it was just everything had organically built over a lot of years, and then I started getting booked internationally and that kind of thing, and so the work wasn't even necessarily in Toronto. It was just at that time, I had just built enough of a reputation and like a brand, for lack of a better term, that I started gaining some sort of international attention, and people started bringing me out, you know. Then it just kind of started moving organically again.
Did you name yourself Lady C?
It's kind of a combination. Everybody, well, specifically my old roommate, kind of someone that brought me into the street dance scene as well, and then ended up being in a relationship with, his name is Anthony, B-Boy Rain. He used to just call me C all the time for short, which is a nickname. And so then everybody kind of started calling me C. And then I had to enter my first battle ever, was a B-girl battle I used to break. And so I entered this B-girl battle, and I was like, I need a name. And I was like, well, I don't want to be B-girl something because I do all these other styles, right? So I didn't want to like pigeonhole myself just yet, you know. I was like, I gotta leave my brand open. And there was like a couple other women in the scene. Like there wasn't a lot of women to even like reference at the time. Very few. And there was a few women that had like Lady something. Like I can't really remember. I think Lady Jules was one. There was a couple that had Lady in front of their name. I liked that. I liked that it carried a certain weight to it, like in terms of how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, how people respect you. But then there was also this juxtaposition of like, when you think of how a lady carries herself, it's very prim and proper. But then I show up and...
What's up?
Well, not even. I'm just like, doing all this crazy shit. Yeah, so I kind of liked that it was like, it held a certain connotation to do with respect and being revered and also just like the respect that a lady has for others too, like, you know. And so I was like, okay, Lady C. And then I entered this B-girl battle and got smoked.
C!
Yeah. because I didn't understand how lactic acid worked in your legs.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
And
so
once that kicks in,
yeah, and there was some really strong B girls in Calgary, so I got smoked.
dang.
Okay, we all get smoked.
Yeah,
That was so good for me.
that
It was
is
so
a
good for
huge
me.
part of the
Yeah.
experience to get smoked.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's different than practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When someone's looking at you and someone's focusing on you and
Just the nerves,
Yeah,
like
just-
your body just goes into a different state, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I do have a question, kind of backtracking a bit, but
Scary night.
That's the scary knife.
Scary knife. Back on some of the risks that maybe went sideways or didn't go the way you planned. How did you know when to, and I'm going to use the word because I like the word, even though it might just mean changing paths, but how did you know when to quit? How did that show up? Was it more of an external thing that happened and you're like, I got to get away from these people? Or was it something, how did you, sorry, I'm going to leave that open-ended. How did you know when to change?
Yeah. I think for me, knowing when to quit and then when I actually quit are two very different things. This is probably part of the things that I need to improve upon in my life. I knew when to quit probably from very close to the start. But I am not a quitter. So I was like, I just want to see this through. I had also kind of invested a lot into it. I invested a lot of money. I invested a lot of time. I gave up a lot of things. So I needed to see it through so that I wasn't asking myself the question, what if? So, you know, I don't have any animosity towards, you know, the people that I was working with or anything. I wish them well. I just know now that it was like maybe the wrong mix or the wrong match or the wrong time or whatever it was. But I knew pretty quickly, I think. I could sense that there was some red flags and just this probably wasn't the right.
when the vibes are off.
The vibes were a little off, but their vibes were also really great in other respects. So yeah, so sometimes I stay probably longer than I should, and this is in a lot of areas of my life, but it's because it goes back to the way I was raised. My mother will give every single human being on the planet the benefit of the doubt, even when they really don't deserve it. I'm not at her level, but I will say she instilled something in me that has allowed for me to have people in my life that I'm able to give grace to people and I'm able to see through some of their flaws. I'm very patient with people. I'm very open to, like, back to what I said kind of in the beginning, like everybody's going through something at all times. Everybody is full of positive and negative, and they're constantly at play and balancing each other. So sometimes I let that sort of understanding of people get in the way of like me making decisions that are important for me. You know, so that's just a lesson that I have to learn, that like I can understand how people are maybe dealing with a thing or, you know, whatever it is, but it doesn't necessarily mean I need to like go along for that ride, if that makes sense. Yeah. So to answer your question, I knew very quickly. I just didn't act on that knowing fast enough. But,
And that quality out of balance, I also believe, can be you getting walked on.
yeah, totally.
And people being like, oh, well, they're giving me that space, and you take an inch, take a mile, that
100%.
whole,
Yeah. 100%.
which is a huge lesson in life, to be like, yeah, have grace, but like also know when to be like,
Yeah,
That's enough.
boundaries, you know,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to get this question down. Over the span of your life thus far, what daily practices do you swear by that you believe people should know?
Daily practices.
Yeah, it could be anything from meditation to, you know, cooking a certain way, or like creating a certain mindset before you do a task. Could be anything. Like,
Yeah, I think at this time in my life, I'm quite consistent with taking care of my body. And for everybody, that's different. For me, it's working out. I'm like very big into fitness. You know, 9 times out of 10 it's just in my living room with a couple of dumbbells. Like, it's nothing too crazy, but I really try to make space for that in my life, because I just want to have general maintenance of health. And as you're aging, I think it's important to just like not start that at your midlife. You know, I'd rather like have that already in my daily practice so that it's consistent. But B, all the dance forms that I do are in incredibly compromising body positions, right? And often we don't realize it because we're freestyle dancers. We favor one leg or one side or whatever it is. And so I think just bringing the body back to balance and just maintaining a certain structure, I think is just important to avoid injury and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I take care of my body. I eat really healthy. I slip all the time, but for the most part, when I'm on point, it's like mostly a keto diet that I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like to have a lot of sugar in my life, or a lot of like, I don't eat bread, pasta, rice. Like, I don't really eat any of that. If I do, it's like me having a time. Like, I'm eating out today. Ooh, rice. Like,
Right.
So I really try to keep my diet clean. Electrolytes every day, all day. Tons of protein. Yeah, I just try to give my body the best shot that it has at living a long life and not being in pain and being able to dance as long as I possibly can, because it's my medicine, man. Like, my medicine is being able to dance in the way that I do, and so I gotta set myself up physically to be able to do that as long as I can. And the last thing I would say is I try to go outside at least once a day. Even if it's for a 10-minute walk, I try to go outside. Yeah.
In that beautiful urban jungle of Toronto.
Yep. I mean, my neighborhood's kind of cute. It's a cute little walk. So, yeah, I try to just get fresh air and sunlight. Yeah.
Do you have an idea of what you want your future to be? Like, you know how in dancing there's OGs. OGs being, for people who don't know dance terminology, are people who've danced a really long time and have
stands for old guys.
Old guys. Reached an older age. Where there's going to be old women too. OWs. OWs. Yeah, do you have an idea of what you want an ideal future to look like and feel like? Like, do you have the idea, or are you just like, I'm just in the flow and I want to let it reveal itself to me?
Yeah, I think I'm in a point right now where that is shifting, like defining that so clearly. I had a very clear idea of what I thought the future was going to be when I was younger. And that was me like taking a lot of risks and making a lot of choices to like force that to happen. Now I think like the goal is like just to maintain some sort of happiness in my day-to-day. And I think like my circle's getting a lot smaller of like who I trust, who I let in, who I really share my time with. And I just want those relationships to be of value. And I think I want my future to just be surrounded with relationships of like really deep value. And everything else is like not really for me to decide. Like, I can work on my goals to a certain point and to a certain extent, but some of that's out of your control. But what I can do is just make sure that the people that are around me, that I love and care about, know that, and we have time together to spend together and to share and to, because like, if not, then what's all this for, you know? What's it for? You have a bunch of money, you're famous, you successful, but if there's no people to share it with, it's like, okay, well. So I think that's become a lot more important to me now, and I'm understanding that I've had very clear goals and taken very clear steps and like done all the right things to achieve those goals, and they didn't work out. So I have to understand that I can continue to do that, and I think that's cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with having goals and working towards them, but life is gonna life.
Yep.
And so when all of that's stripped away, if I break both my legs tomorrow and can't dance, like, okay, well, what is really, you know, like what's really important though? And it is just like those relationships, and I've lost some of those relationships too, and I think losing some of those relationships with people that I loved a lot kind of flipped that switch for me of like, fuck, that's really important. Yeah, and sometimes it takes losing that to understand that. Yeah.
Cha-ching. I think that's a perfect,
Beautiful note to end.
that's a beautiful note to end on. Thank you for joining us and sharing all that. That's there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot that people will, the kind of people who would watch this will relate to and synergize with. So
Sweet.
we usually finish it with a dap. I don't even know, is that possible?
A what?
We do one of these.
Oh.
Woo! Okay, that was a good one.
That was almost nice.
Yeah, sorry, that was on point. Any final words? Anything?
No, thank you for having me. You know, it's nice to just sit down and chat. You know? It's nice to share and exchange outside of dance, because I know we're all dancers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to like talk about other stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
about life.
Yeah, about life.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Peace.
In my, short life so far, if I died tomorrow, I would say I had a really exciting, incredible, interesting life full of interesting people and interesting experiences. So a lot of them have gone so right. I wouldn't be sitting here still doing what I'm doing if they were all risks. It's a risk just to be an artist. It's a heavy risk just to choose to be a professional dancer of all things. I just want to understand, like, what is this thing and how do they get that level? Like when I'd watch Pete dance or Sugar Pop or Khalif or Link, I was like, how are they so... They're on another planet right now. I can see it. They're not here. It's spiritual. They're somewhere else. And that like transcendence was so just appealing to me and enticing to me, and I just wanted to know that feeling. And I knew I have to gain a certain level of skill, and I have to be able to speak the language fluently to be able to express like that. I think for me, knowing when to quit and then when I actually quit are two very different things. This is probably part of the things that I need to improve upon in my life. I knew when to quit probably from very close to the start. But I am not a quitter. So I was like, I just want to see this through. I had also kind of invested a lot into it. I invested a lot of money. I invested a lot of time. I gave up a lot of things. So I needed to see it through so that I wasn't asking myself the question, what if?